Start recording.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Wait. Okay, okay. Okay, now I'm recording.
Recording. All right. It doesn't really matter, but just for tradition's sake, I like to do a clap. So I'll count down on to three, and when you hear me say three, you clap, and I'll clap, and who knows if it'll do anything, but
Okay.
fun. So
Sick.
one, two, three.
Oh, on three. Wait, we should do it again.
Okay,
Wait.
okay. You want to count down? Maybe
Okay.
that's easy.
On three.
Sure.
Okay, we're gonna do it. One, two, three. Oh wait, I didn't. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. One, two, three.
It was a little off, but it's fine. It's fine.
It was on.
I don't
Okay.
really even use the claps. It's just sort of like a tradition. Um,
I feel it.
what is up? Episode 4, episode 3. I'm already forgetting. I've got April here from B.A.A.M. Is that how you pronounce it? B.A.A.A.M. B.A.A.M.
Yes, that is a pretty good pronunciation, I would say, of
Which is
that.
a zine
A zine indeed.
from the SF area about music and art. You're my
Yes.
first zine-esque person, or I guess zine creator on the
Wow.
show. So this
Oh
is,
my
I
gosh.
feel like, a great opportunity for us to get into that whole world. Now,
Totally.
I guess starting off, just like tell me how you got into zines, April.
Um, Zines. I feel like when I was like younger, my sister, Green Apple Books?
Ah,
No, you don't know Green Apple Books? It's over on
I should look it up.
yeah, you need to go. It's a bookstore in the city on Clement in the Richmond, I believe. And my sister used to work there, and she also kind of used to make some zines, like just for fun. And they would always also sell, well, this their bookstore, so they sell zines and books and stuff. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, I just feel like I saw so many like weird like niche zines, and I was like, sick. You know what I
Well,
mean?
maybe for sure. First, we should define what a zine is. So, like, what
Yeah.
what would you say is a zine?
I feel like a zine is like anything you want it to be. Like it could be any size, whether it's like fucking like half an inch or like well, I would say I don't know. It could be like a foot long, or
Hmm.
I guess that's more of a magazine. It could be. It's whatever you want it to be. It's
But it does
you
come from
just
magazines, sort of, right? Like that's the
yeah,
origin.
it's like smaller magazine. Yeah, I guess. But I feel like you can put anything in zine. You could put stupid drawings, like literally just like words. Like I remember finding, I was like a little bit younger. I found this zine that my sister made, and she had cut out like some lingerie pieces, and it was
Hmm.
like a couple inches big. And I was like younger, and she was like, "Don't look at that." Like, it was just, yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what it was titled, but it was just a bunch of cutouts of lingerie. I thought it was cute. I thought the idea was cute.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So then, what made you sort of? So you just been naturally your sisters into the that
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
But made you want to start BAM and get that whole thing going?
I feel like I don't know. I like this is a hard question. I feel like I was pretty inspired by my brother as well, Luca. He's in Juice Bumps
Oh,
SF,
nice.
if you know the band.
I actually
Yeah.
interviewed Juice Bumps as my first interview, but I
Oh,
don't think he
sick.
was a part of the interview. It was just Parker
Yeah.
and oh man, I feel bad
He
forgetting the
recently he
person's name.
recently left. No, it's okay. I think
Oh,
now it's Parker and Spencer, Kyle's on the drums, and then this other random good guy.
new
But
person for
yeah,
sure.
but now there are four pieces. They used to be just Luca, Parker, and Narse was on drums, but now Narse is in Destroy Boys, which is another band from
Oh
Rhode Island.
yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, he's Luca's not the bassist anymore because he just moved on to other things. But I feel like he also used to take me to house shows and like got me really like was like you should practice guitar, like you need to play your guitar. Like I was like slowly got more and more passionate about the music scene, and they both do art. Like he does some art too, and it was cool to see. And I was just always been very inspired by them, I would say, to
Hmm.
create, and like seeing their creative works made me want to like made me passionate about it, I feel like, or influenced me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So are you then like an SF native, so to speak, or you're like from the Bay Area?
I would say, well, this is a hard question, Eves. No, I mean, I was born in Redwood City, but I grew up mostly in Davis. Because we were talking about
Oh,
Davis. Yeah, that's why I asked
oh, for sure.
about UC
Yeah.
Davis. But yeah, I grew up mostly there, but I was with my mom part-time there, and then my dad and brother and sister in San Carlos, which is also in the South Bay. So we would always be coming to city, and like I've been around,
Yeah, you sound
I
like
would say.
you're pretty familiar with a lot of the different sort of scenes, perhaps
Mhm.
in
For
the
sure.
Bay Area.
I would hope so.
And now you're living in SF, right? Are you going to SF State or
Yeah, yeah.
USF? SF State?
State. Yeah, I do go to state. Live in the Sunset currently. Looking at
Nice.
Golden Gate Park on my window. It's a good
Is
time.
it smoky there, by the way? It's gotten so bad where
It's
I'm in the
like
East Bay.
it's like a little blue, but it's definitely, you can tell there's some smoke.
Hmm. Well, now
Nasty.
everyone knows when we recorded this. At some point in California's massive history of fires.
Indeed, there are many fires blazing.
I can't go outside. I'm pissed.
Yep,
Anywho,
pissed.
um,
That's fine.
for sure.
Sorry, can I
Well,
curse on this?
yeah, of course.
Okay,
This is a
sorry. Just
DIY. There's no rules, no sponsors. I think currently we're at 25 subscribers on YouTube,
sick.
so
Shout out to
it's really
y'all.
it's just for mostly for my own personal. I just want to talk to people. So yeah, thank you
Yeah,
for coming on. By the way, I figured it would be good to have
thank you.
someone besides just like musicians because there's a lot to the community, to the scene experience, and like zines are a pretty, I think, impactful part of it. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say so. I feel
Yes.
that, and I feel you're saying about starting. You said you interview people, like, because what were you saying? Like you like want to
Oh,
talk to
just
people and get
yeah, I
to
just want to
know.
talk to people and get to know
Yeah, I
the
totally feel that.
artists, musicians, anything that
Oh
partic
my
is.
god, I am so sorry. I'm
You're good.
People are like yeah in this house. Sorry,
Hmm.
continue.
No, no, you're
Yeah,
good. I was just saying that yeah, just getting to know every I guess community member that is a part of the experience that creates a music scene, an art scene,
hmm,
how it all kind of works, and how we all get together and do our DIY thing because
yeah,
there really isn't a lot of talk about it, and I sort of wanted to shine a potential light on more stuff like that. So yeah, thank you for coming on.
of
Um,
course.
I was perusing the account. Not a whole lot
Yes.
seems to be going on BAM recently. Has there been a bit of a hiatus as of late,
Yeah.
or?
Well, for a while throughout since COVID started, it's been hard because like I wanted to do the fourth issue, but and I was supposed to interview people, and I usually like to interview them in person and like take
Hmm.
pictures of everybody, and like that kind of requires a little bit of
Hmm.
gathering of sorts. And I guess I suppose I could do a Zoom interview, but yeah, I also just haven't gotten it super straightened out. But we are doing a Halloween zine, Halloween.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. We're partnering with my friend Vero from Oakland. She's an artist, super sick, at
Hell yeah.
the Miha on Instagram.
Shout
But yeah,
outs.
we're taking submissions, like spooky drawings and stuff, and the deadline is October 10th to submit. So
Okay.
we've already gotten a few sick ass fucking submissions, and I'm super stoked.
Is there a poster or something for that I could repost? Because I'm
Yeah,
happy to get it out there. I feel like
definitely.
Inktober is like so popular, so I'm
This
sure you
is
could
true.
get some homies to come through.
Yeah, it's on the flyer should be on the first pick on the account.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
She's there. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Super
So
stoked.
I guess I'm kind of curious. So what is the sort of like if you were to try to like teach someone else how to do a zine, what would be like a basic sort of format or like timeline for how you go from like the idea and the inception to then getting it onto a piece of paper and printing it and all that sort of thing?
Damn, that's a good question.
Thank
Um,
you.
you mean like for somebody who would want to do a zine, or
Yeah,
like
like
for me
if you
personally?
were say like the viewers watching this right now and they're sort of inspired by your work or other zines but they're sort of not sure how to kind of get it going, how to get the ball going on that, what would you say is some good advice perhaps? What helped you
Well,
get your stuff done?
hmm, I don't know. I feel like you got some hard questions today. I mean, it depends what you want your zine to be about. Like, do you want to include text? I mean, to me, a zine is like cutting and pasting like what you want to be. Like, I usually create out like a little blank, small booklet, and then I'll
Mm.
just fill in, cut and paste what I want to be on the page and kind of format it that way. Um, but yeah, if they just want it to be drawings, you could also just draw it. I mean, I guess I would suggest drawing it onto a different piece of paper and then pasting it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, what got me started to do the first one was just going to like shows and stuff and like being really inspired and passionate about that. And I was like, damn, like people should have a way to read about it or like see, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
See what these people are creating, that they might not necessarily have known of
Mm.
before.
Is it
But
sort of like a catalog perhaps of these events, or like you're sort of kind of creating a way to capture it, not just like with a video but with like a zine?
yeah, yeah, I would say definitely capturing some, I don't know, capturing
The vibe.
these, yeah, all these different creatives and like, their work is permanent and like even if
Mm.
you read the zine in like 20 years, you'll still have that to refer back to and be like, oh, and then you just look up like their music and their music is still going to be on the internet if we're all
Yeah.
still alive in 20 years. But
Yeah, totally.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, I
wild.
guess so. I don't know. I guess you could call it something like catalog or
Or
uh,
time capsule, perhaps even, or just like
you could say that too.
yeah.
It's
It's this.
anything.
It's a medium that it sort of is able to capture or like to like because like a show or an event, like those like a house show is such a like raw visceral experience that just happens in a couple of hours and then it's gone and no one can
True.
recreate it, but then
True.
the zine is like I also kind of wanted to get into fungi power because I saw you guys did a collab.
Oh, he's sick as fuck. Yes, indeed. Yeah,
And
I love him.
hell yeah.
I Yeah. Do you? I mean, what's
Oh, I was just gonna say
you don't
like
know what the?
he's like this photographer that takes all these photos and does like that kind of thing at shows, right? And makes
Mhm.
and you guys kind of collabed and put a zine together with his work, I'm
Yeah.
assuming, right? Like
Yeah, yeah. It was actually funny. I think it was like at a show. I No, it wasn't New Year's. It was like in November, some show in November last year, and um, I was just like, "Hey, you're the guy that takes those sick pictures." Because I don't know, like I see his pictures of like a group of like bands, and like it's
mm,
kind of both show related, and I took some pictures of bands to put in my zine as well, and it seemed like kind of the same vein. So I was like, "Damn, we should do this collab because your pics are dope." But yeah, I was pretty satisfied with the result too. It was nice. It's nice to have that, and like that's also a permanent thing as well,
mm.
everlasting. You know.
Yeah, definitely. It cap or I keep saying that word captured, but like yeah, you have that sort of cool creative experience where you get to like really like it's a sort of semi-permanent permanent thing rather than like a show being like this
Mhm.
experience that we all go to and then all we have left is memories, but then you can sort of use the photos and use
Mhm.
like captions, all this stuff to really kind of
Totally.
take a little bit of the essence of that experience and keep it so cool.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so I guess, yeah, speaking of like fungi power and sort of collaboration, how do you go about trying to do that, I guess, or how does your what is your collaboration process, if such a
Hmm.
question could be asked? I don't know if you've
This is a
ever
good
even thought about
question.
that, but
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it kind of happens on a whim. Like, um, I don't know. Like with my friend Vero, like she brought like she was like, or she was talking to me about the zine, and I was like, damn, like you should do something. Like, like you haven't put in something out for a second. And then I was like, maybe you should do a Halloween zine. And then I was like, we should just do that together. Or like
mm,
we'd agreed that we could do it together because, working with someone else is always a fun time. You know what I mean?
really
Yeah, I
the
feel like,
organic experience of putting two people's minds kind of together for a bit, or at least motivation, if
yeah,
anything else, right?
very true.
Helping, egging you on a little bit.
Definitely. I agree.
Well, and that it's coming out on October 31st, this Halloween zine, or
I couldn't tell you. The submission deadline is the 10th, and then which I guess is pretty soon. But then we'll just probably put it together and release it around then. Maybe like,
hmm,
I mean, obviously before the 31st, but
hopefully.
we'll see. Yeah, maybe when people start getting in the mood, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like when everyone's like feeling like the Halloween vibes. Right now it's kind of
As
just
much as you
like,
can, yeah.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so how does the printing process go, or how do you like go about creating a bunch of copies of the initial prototype of a zine?
It's kind of a lot, but usually I'll create the blank, like little booklet, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'll like cut and paste, or and then create a Google Doc, and I record the interview, and then I put it together, and then write everything down, and print out art that the artist sends me, and I just cut and paste everything, um, and then I'll take it to. I've gone to. There's this place in Haight that I've been to a couple times, and he was nice. And then there's this other place. I forgot what it's called, like City Copy downtown.
Mm.
But it's like super out there. But I'll go to them sometimes. There is a mean man who works there. I will say he was mean to me a couple times. But
Yeesh.
then there's also one cool guy who's like a cool guy who's like, damn, like you're making a zine, that's cool. But I'll just photocopy it. I'll have it photocopied, and they print out each of the like seven, or not seven, but like front and back 7 pages out of the printer from photocopying all because I have to take apart the booklet, then they photocopy the back and front and whatever, and then I fold it and I staple it, and then yeah, then it's ready.
Hate it.
There's
Awesome.
probably there's probably like an easier way I could do it, but for now this is what's
Well, that sounds
this
like the
is what we're
most
doing.
DIY sort of way to do it. Yeah, you could. Would you ever consider like actually sending it off to like a sort of self-publishing sort of style? Because like there are, I think,
Hmm.
online resources where they'll print out a bunch of copies of a book or whatever, like a zine type
Yeah, and like
book.
paste it together. Yeah, I feel that. I feel like I thought of that, but then I'm like, I feel like I'd just be paying people to do like what I could do, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
By like stapling and stuff. But
it's more
maybe
expensive for
someday.
sure.
Yeah, maybe someday though. Yeah. I respect people who do that or have the money to do that too.
Heck
Definitely.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
would I mean, obviously, I feel like there's a zine could be a sort of thing where like you might not have sort of sense of maybe who your influences are, but just to throw it out there, is there like sort of like a community space that you participate in when it comes to that thing, or is it very much just sort of within your own
Hmm.
SF and stuff like that?
Like, do you mean like, do I
Is there like a
interact with like,
yeah, I guess
yeah?
like do you have like an inspiration for example, like who, like if you think of people that you're currently like sort of looking up to that are making zines, or like Instagram accounts or whatever, the other
Hmm.
sort of zine accounts that you look up to? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, I would say so. There's Big Leap Collective. I don't know if you know.
I'm not
I guess I
yet.
don't, there's really you should know this.
I'm
You should
sorry. I'm
know
sorry.
this.
This is sort
No,
of like an
but
informational experience for me. I feel like I don't know enough about zine, so I'm sort of excited to hear it from
yeah,
someone who's actually made one. Like it's such a
sick. Hell yeah, yeah. They're making a zine too. I mean, I feel like I don't know too many like zine makers that are like local to me other than like
hmm.
Big Leap just made a zine, but like with interviews similar to me, like of bands and stuff. It's super sick. They're not published yet, but you should definitely check her out.
Okay.
Ellie is sick. But yeah, I feel like I've seen other like zine groups around. There's like Trash Mag, there's some in LA.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Um, like I'm trying to think. There's also like hella zine makers in like East Bay, I feel like too.
Hmm.
But as far as like in like kind of my demographic in the area, or not demographic, but like age group in the area, like that
Hmm.
is immediate to me, besides, bigly, I couldn't think of any, but
Hmm.
yeah,
That's
I
okay.
don't
I
know.
guess I was just kind of curious because I feel like what would be kind of sick is like imagine an Instagram account and it's like or like some sort of a like thing and it's just dedicated to like reposting other people's zines and so like there's like this sort of way to like if you didn't
Hmm.
because like I feel like realistically speaking most zine culture it is DIY, it's underground. Like if I don't live in Philadelphia, I don't really know about the zines going on in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But in a way, it'd be super sick if there was like an account potentially that would like post, like anyone could like submit their zine to be like reposted or like have like a
Hmm.
some sort of thing on this person's Instagram, and then you
Yeah,
could actually just discover all the different things going on within the various
that would be
different
tight.
scenes.
Yeah, I would feel like that would be super, super cool, to
How,
know if all that, like, I know there's the zine makers are out there.
yeah,
There's
exactly.
so many of them,
Totally,
for
yeah. I
sure.
feel that there must be so many just always remaining, I guess, kind of hard to find. So this
Yeah, and
could
I feel
like,
like you really gotta, and nobody really goes to bookstores anymore, I feel like, but that's
mm,
really where, like, I feel like a lot of I mean, I sell mine at Green Apple Books, but it's kind of hard to like print that many and then put it on a shelf. But there's like
mm,
City Lights too downtown that has hell zines, and I feel like to know the zines, you gotta
it
go to
takes,
the store,
you gotta,
I
yeah, you gotta
guess.
be
But
aware of
nobody
it.
goes to the store, so and nowadays because COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, I don't know.
Just,
I
I
don't know.
guess if anyone watches this and is looking for an easy way to do something cool, maybe make a zine aggregate account or something, or like, I don't know.
Yeah,
It
that'd
would
be tight.
definitely be a cool idea, I feel like, just because then you could connect scenes together. Like the East Bay people would know where to look for the SF stuff and vice versa, and like just
True.
within the Bay.
They do have the SF Zine Fest every year.
Mm.
Super cool. I went last year and I've been once before, but they just have like I think it's where is it? It's in Golden Gate Park on like Ninth and Lincoln there or something. It's
I'll put a
like
link in the description or something.
yeah, SF Zine Fest. I feel like they're pretty good at bringing zine makers together too.
Heck yeah.
Maybe I could be a part of someday, but I've
You
not.
should have tried. Heck yeah.
I should. They just had it, but I
Dang.
don't know. I don't know.
2021,
That's a Zine
B.A.A.M
Fest.
will be a part of that. I
We'll
go
see.
for it, April. I think you can do it. What's stopping you?
Yeah, true.
Believe in yourself. For sure. Well, then I guess moving from there, then I'm just sort of curious. Like, so you've been doing these for like about a year, then about it's like November 2019 was this sort of or
I think I
earlier than that?
released. It was like May 2019.
Oh, okay, May
Yeah,
2019.
I interviewed at Lo-Fi Lakes for the first time in. Uh,
Oh hell
it was
yeah!
like
I want to
February, and
have
then
them
I
on the
took
show
like
at
a
some
month.
point, so that'll be fun.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah, I
mention
love
you.
them. They're super cool. They're so funny. They're quite
What
the
kind of
crowd.
questions do you ask for your interviews?
Um, I don't know. I I have it
Do
written
you,
down somewhere,
you
but
don't even
usually it's like,
remember?
you know, it's like who your inspirations or like what
Mm,
kind of like some of the questions are like kind of stupid questions, so I can put like
there's no
quotes
stupid questions.
instead.
Oh,
Well,
or
but
you
like
mean like,
silly questions,
oh,
you
okay,
know. But
okay.
then there's ones that I need to ask to constitute the um like the little paragraph I write, you know.
Mm,
But like yeah, like what's your guys' sound? How have you guys changed over time?
mm,
Um, you know, if you were on a deserted island, which
mm.
band member would you eat first? You know, casual questions like this.
Those are some good questions. Heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always fun. I miss doing interviews like that.
Would you just do them like after a show? Like you've got a little notepad or something, you're just writing it down,
Yeah.
or?
Well, in I guess it's been different situations. I feel like usually I like to do it like I did do one after a show once though. The third issue,
Mm,
we had a show at the house um and I was interviewing preschool. We were over here actually in the
heck
hallway.
yeah.
That was super fun. But um, then yeah, the two other times I think I interviewed Buzz Lightyear in the drummer's mom's basement, but also her room, and then also Lo-Fi Legs I interviewed at Tommy's Joint. If you know where Tommy's Joint
I
in
do
is,
not,
it's
unfortunately.
like it's this like I wouldn't say it's like a barbecue restaurant. It's like kind of an American food
Mm.
restaurant in the Tenderloin, and it was just a funny time. A weird location to yeah, or it wasn't a show, but it was just I met them
Oh, you're just hanging out. Oh, okay. I was
at
gonna
Tommy's
say
Joint.
I'd never heard of as a venue. Okay,
Oh yeah,
cool.
yeah.
What do you think then is like the sort of like predicted, like how if perhaps COVID, it's looking like it's likely that this is not, we're not gonna suddenly have an opportunity to just go back to normal, and like I've even seen Dr. Fauci being like, there is no normal, we're never gonna go back to that. Um,
Yeah.
do you have any sort of like ideas of how like zines might adapt to this sort of new system of how we're going to interact with each other and stuff like that? Like, would you ever consider
Hmm.
like doing like a PDF or anything
Yeah.
like that?
I don't know. I thought about that. I feel like, hmm. I've thought about like maybe making it digital at some point, maybe, but then I feel like that kind of also takes away a little bit from the like DIY aspect. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
totally.
Of like,
Physical
and like,
copies seem really cool. So,
yeah, I feel that. But I don't know. You never know. Someday I could have a little something, a
yeah.
little taste. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean,
Zines in
explore,
general.
right?
Yeah,
Experiment.
very true. Very true. But yeah, zines in general, I don't know about the others. I mean, I feel like just Instagram is like such a helpful tool nowadays, like
Mm,
letting people know, oh, I made this zine, like like DM me if you want a copy or like,
yeah,
order it here or like order maybe I could make a website and like have people order it on the website or
yeah.
something. Something less like because I've only ever sold them at Green Apple Books and
Mm.
like shows and stuff like that. And obviously that's not
Seems
happening
like
now.
a pretty popular way people are doing things now. It's just like going to the post office, mailing it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You can
I think
wrap
I
it up
should do
yourself.
that. Yeah, I should mail it. Do you think? I should
Potential option, right?
for
Potential
sure.
opportunities.
Yeah, that
Um,
would be definitely cool.
very cool. Well, I'm looking forward to when it comes out. I will definitely, if I can. How much are your copies, by the way? Like, what is the sort of price range for? Is
Usually they're about I don't know. They go from like 5 to like 7, I would say.
that
5
a
to 7
sliding scale
bucks.
sort of thing, or more so like?
I kind of just decide as I go, but
Uh,
but we'll see. Maybe I'll put a solid. I do like the idea of a sliding scale though, but
hmm.
we'll see. Maybe I'll make it like 650.
Make you well. Here's how I would imagine. Like you could just make it minimum pay for the shipping, and then like if people feel like giving you more, which hopefully they do,
True.
you or maybe like you make it
Like
just like
donation.
yeah or something like that. Like, have you ever considered using it as a fundraising sort of?
Yeah, definitely. We used to do that for our shows that we'd have at the house. We would like fundraise and
Mm,
stuff, and that would go other places. But with the zines, it's just harder because, you have to pay like I pay like 230 or something dollars when I get like 30 or 40 copies.
mm.
So it's like hard, and like I don't really
Yeah, I gotta
expect to
invest.
have any financial gain from it, but
Mm.
it's,
At least
yeah,
cover your
I feel like I
costs.
could maybe if for the next issue or something, or this Halloween zine actually, we are gonna do a not fundraising, but I believe me and Beryl are working it out, but there's gonna be different like prices, and we were thinking of donating. If people want to donate with the thing, depending on how it goes, we would donate it to this art fund for kids in Oakland,
Nice.
which we'll probably end up donating at least part of the money of
Heck yeah.
for eventually, depending on how much it costs to produce. But
Mm.
yeah, I think, yeah, I
Sure.
it's definitely something I would like to do.
I mean, part of me would say I'd hope so, but also, like I understand we do
Yeah,
live in a complicated world, so it's okay
I
to
know. I mean,
want to
I
self-survive.
always you gotta distribute the funds, redistribute our
Mm-hmm.
funds to people who
But
need them for sure, and like, yeah, yeah. So we're
what
planning to do.
what would you say is like your least favorite part? Like, is there anything that frustrates you about me? The most difficult, challenging kind of part of it, or is it all sort of feel it's kind of seamless at this point for you?
That's a good question. Um, I guess the most frustrating part is dealing with the one guy who's mean to me when I go to the coffee shop. But other than that, I have kind of a lot of fun with it. I do feel like lately, I hadn't produced something partially because of COVID, and like
Hmm.
I didn't feel super passionate either in the moment. So like I don't want to
Hmm.
create. That was frustrating. I like didn't want to create something like that doesn't have my passion into it. Like doesn't
Hmm.
be like, wow, this is super sick. Like, I'm like, love all these bands. And like, I mean, obviously I would, but I just wasn't in the same mindset. But I feel like this
Hmm.
Halloween is a nice transition.
Yeah, totally. I mean,
Yeah.
imagine nowadays it's like it's hard to do the band thing for sure. So,
Yeah. Even just to have a band, that's rough. Or like
yeah.
practice, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
They're struggling for
No,
sure.
it's a struggle. Are you in a band, or it's just the house has a bunch of music going on?
Um, I wouldn't say me and Izzy and uh this other guy were in a band. We did we're not it's not a band, but we're called the Goobs. We opened for one of our shows once. So I
Oh,
was
okay.
and we wrote a couple songs, but no, not in
Hey,
a band though.
not a band.
But
One
we were
time
just
thing.
like one night and one night only. But yeah, then we have Izzy's and Thank You Come Again, and Alexia's and Destroy Boys. There's some
Hmm.
very musically motivated people in this house for sure that motivate me as well. But I do play music though.
No, what are you doing? Keys,
I'm
bass,
doing a little.
guitar?
Yeah, I've been trying to get into bass lately. I need to buy a bass. I've been using everybody else's bass,
Hmm.
but guitar I've been playing since I was like 15. I sing sort of. I feel like everybody can kind of play keys, right? If you need to. Or like, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
I
like
mean, I'm not a
do
keyboard
a
player
little,
personally. I have a keyboard
or
in
like
my
piano,
room.
whatever. Oh, but you don't even play keyboard?
Well, it's like to me it's like I can use it if I'm like trying to make beats or something like that. But I
Yeah.
don't think I have like actual knowledge when it comes to like chord progressions and the
Mm.
sort of deeper like stuff like the scales or I don't like I'm trying to think of good words to even
Yeah,
describe
I feel that.
it. For me
The
it's a lot less.
technicals.
Yeah, the theory
Yeah.
or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That stuff is definitely not yet been in. I haven't learned. I just haven't taken the time to learn it yet, unfortunately. But hopefully
That's
one
a
day.
good.
Um,
Yes. Yes.
this is sort of a random question, but I've just been thinking about this. What is your take on like t-shirts and like that whole sort of world? Like people, I feel like been doing a lot of t-shirt creation, like
Hmm.
designs, but my caveat is I just feel like there's so much waste that comes from like creating a bunch of new t-shirts. Like there's like so many
Yeah, I feel that.
thriftable stuff. Have you ever
Yeah.
considered like that whole world? And then I guess my second thing is like, is there any interest? I'm not expecting you to want to do this, but just like, have you heard of anybody trying to do this thing where they take like thrifted T-shirts and then like try to
Yeah.
print their own designs on it and stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah, I've definitely been seeing that. I think um I saw that the Outhouse Collective was kind of doing something like
Mm,
that. They're taking like um I believe used clothing and then like kind of drawing their own like design on it
mm,
that is connected to their collective, I guess.
yeah.
But yeah, I think that is a pretty good idea. There's definitely a good way to do that and like to make it like look nice too.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, printing new t-shirts. I mean, everybody's probably still produce the t-shirts, but it does create waste. I definitely think using or like upcycling clothing, and because I don't know, I feel like that also makes it more special too, because like it's not just unless you have five of the same thrifted item,
mm-hmm.
and then do something like that. But yeah, that's I think it's super dope
Heck yeah.
that people
I'm
are
hoping that might become a
using.
trend because
Yes.
I've even thought about doing the whole t-shirt thing, but it just feels like so wasteful when you hear how much water goes into each t-shirt. It's just like
What? How much water does
I think it's like 15 gallons or something ridiculous. Like it's a
goes
lot
into a
of water.
t-shirt?
It goes into a cotton t-shirt. Yeah, the whole coming like it just takes a lot
That's
of
shocking.
energy and it's crazy how cheap it is considering because I think water
Damn.
still being so cheap is a big part of it. But
Hmm.
yeah, no, I'm just like a little worried about
Damn.
sustainability. I guess
Yeah.
following up then like with I guess kind of making it about zines again, recycled paper is that like an option? Like what's the take
Ooh,
on that?
this is a good question. I keep saying that. I should stop saying that.
It's okay.
Um, Reusing paper. Like,
Like imagine taking a zine or like a bunch of old zines and then repurposing them as new zines or just like buying recycled paper rather than like printing new like is that an option even? I don't even know if you can go to a copy store and
it's a
use
hard
like
one. I mean,
recycled
they
paper.
they do charge you based on what kind. I don't know if recycle. I want to know if that's an option. Recycled. I'm googling it. Can
Let's
you
Google
print on
right now
Reese?
live on this
Live.
podcast interview.
Yes. Oh, let's see. While printing with recycled paper may cost a bit more regular than regular paper stock, the price barrier is much lower today than it once was. Most printers offer some type of recycled paper, making it easier to find recycled paper solution that's
Yeah,
affordable and
maybe that
appropriate for
could
your
be
marketing.
a goal of this upcoming Halloween zine, right? How do we make it
Yeah,
a little bit more sustainable? Because as much
this
as
is true.
I doubt you're making that much waste, I mean, I still, sure
I
we're
hope people
all.
don't throw them out.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't
exactly.
throw away my seeds.
You have to
Yeah,
sign a
yeah.
contract before you buy this.
Seriously, I'm gonna start making people do that.
Got to
Yeah.
start now. I mean, like we're already in danger. Not to turn this into a global warming conversation, but I don't
It's
know.
it's prevalent.
I'm freaking out.
Yeah,
It's
we're all
not
probably
looking
gonna
good.
die. We're not gonna die.
Well, eventually
Maybe.
we're all gonna die,
Yeah,
but when that is, I don't know yet.
maybe like 2040 or so.
Hmm.
I don't know.
April's throwing out the years. Okay, everybody.
We'll see. We'll see where we are in 2040. We'll
I
see.
guess so. Yeah, I'll check on my Instagram 2040 and see where we're
We're all
at.
gonna be dead because
Mm,
climate change is gonna get us all.
yeah, for sure. Well, I
Anyways,
guess speaking of social media, is that sort of like the new kind of grounds? Like you said before, you would go to bookstores and stuff like that. But do you think there's like is social media sort of replaced where people get all of that kind of information now? It's just like where
I
everything
guess.
happens.
I mean, I would say Green Apple. I feel like I don't even sell really that many copies at Green Apple.
Mm,
But yeah, I'd say Instagram's always been kind of the biggest platform that I use. Like I've had maybe 6 people total in history buy my zine set. Well, I actually haven't checked recently, but you never know. But yeah,
Hmm.
I definitely feel like Instagram is a super good tool to use,
Hmm.
and like letting people know what's up. Maybe I should make a website. You're giving me ideas.
Squarespace sponsoring this podcast. I wish, no.
Sponsored by Squarespace.
Sponsored by
We would love.
Wix. Well, I guess yeah. But overall, what would you say is your take as an artist trying to like the social media? What are like the pros and cons in your perspective on the whole artist experience with the zines or anything really? Do you is it all good or what's your
Yeah.
take?
Um, I feel like sometimes it's hard. Like I only have like 300 something followers, so it's like I
Mm.
sometimes feel like I'm talking to nobody.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, that can be. But I feel like with like other artists and you know people who have a bit of a like I guess
Some
following doesn't
clout.
even matter. Well, not that. No, but yeah, I don't know. I guess, but following also kind of doesn't even matter because you're gonna create the same anyways. But
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like it is a good tool for anybody, to
Mm.
use. Yeah.
But has it ever had like a negative sort of experience of that? Because you mentioned like the whole like following sort of thing. It's like, oh, I only have 300 followers, whereas like I only have
Yeah.
125 followers on this account. Like, and the fact that I even
Yeah.
know the exact amount off the top of my head is kind of sad in a sense. But
Oh my god, it's okay.
um, yeah, I guess I just like what's your take on the whole like sort of like the desire for attention that Instagram has sort of created? Has it ever
Yeah.
felt like a negative thing towards making art? Like you're not doing it for the right reasons, or it's like affecting the sort of like, oh, I want to make sure this does well or whatever, and you gets enough likes, that kind
Yeah.
of thing.
I mean, I feel like I didn't really care that much about how many people, were necessarily like I feel like I always see my homies, and they're being like, "Hey, this
Hmm.
is cool," like but wait, what did you say? A negative.
Have there just like has it ever kind of crossed your mind as like, oh man, I'm like spending more time on this than I was before now that like I'm sort of doing this art project on social media, and then like
Mhm.
is it, how do you feel about that? I guess is a better way of putting it.
Um, like how do I feel about you like being on Instagram as a scene page?
Yeah, I guess so. Or like that sort of
Okay.
the sort of like almost necessity of it, and that the sort of I guess at least personally, maybe this is a loaded question because I've just been feeling like as much as I want to do cool artistic stuff, it feels almost like it isn't valid unless I'm doing it also kind of for attention and like trying or not even attention, but just
Hmm.
like to get some viewership or like to like put
I
it
feel
on the
like
internet.
yeah, I mean I feel like it is good to put it, but I definitely like I don't know. I wouldn't say like, necessarily it needs to be an attention grab or anything, you know what I mean? Or
Mm,
like as long as you are producing the content, like um I don't know, and it's like fulfilling to you, like I don't
mm,
think it necessarily matters like really how many people see it. I mean, it'd be nice, cool people saw what are seeing
yeah.
what you do, but at the end of the day, you created it and you should be happy with it, whether or not like people
Mm,
are gonna see it. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Totally.
Yeah. But it
That's
does,
great advice, I think, for the
yeah,
artists out there. Continue.
yeah.
Sorry, were you saying something?
Um, I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
All good. So I guess sort of just to kind of round this out, as a budding zine artist yourself, what would you say is like some good solid like what were the sort of struggles that you had to go through, or I guess the better way of putting it is like how if you were to do it again, is there anything that you wish you knew beforehand, or like some tips and tricks that kind of thing for
Hmm.
anybody who's never done a zine before?
Um, I feel like I feel like I was kind of learning as I went, and I still
Mm,
am learning, and like, you know, um, I was really, just playing it by ear, kind of making it up as I go. But
yeah.
um, I don't know. Like it's been a I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Is it mostly
Um,
just a hobby for you, or is it something that like you, or is it like what? Yeah, I guess what is the sort of energy within you that has inspired you to want to make these zines?
I feel like it kind of used to be, a hobby, and I would like create it as I went. But lately, since I haven't been creating an issue besides this Halloween thing, which we haven't even put
Mm,
together yet, I've I guess it's like kind of this thing that I just have now. But I
mm,
do like, I do plan to, engage more and like hopefully develop it more. Hopefully we'll get a website and
yeah,
it'll be not just a hobby, it'll be something that, you know, is always there and, you
yeah,
know,
part of your life.
inspiring. Yeah, exactly.
Did
Exactly.
you like? I guess here, any grand like? Is there an imagined future where like, if everything goes right, like what would you sort of hope to accomplish with these
With
scenes?
with these zines. Ooh, another loaded question. Um, I feel like, well, I've thought about, in like if I continue living in like SF or if I live in like Berkeley or East Bay or something, I would definitely want to, with time develop it and kind of make it, or like we would probably start hopefully having shows again, or like
Hmm.
I've thought like, maybe we would like record people someday and like, but this is all like in the very future, but or in
Hmm.
like the very or not like
Yeah.
very far, but in my like later 20s or whatever. But I could see myself doing something definitely more with it. But yeah, for now we're just making these things, paper things, I guess. Did that answer
Totally.
your question? I feel
I
like you
think
had a different
so.
kind of question.
Well, I guess my sort of thing is like like I guess is like a is it sort of something that like you're doing that like you hope to build towards like a bigger thing, which it seems like it is, or like is it just sort of like something that is just very much grounded in your own just desire for artistic expression and wanting to go to shows and do these
I feel
things
like
along with that?
it's probably more the second one, I would say. It's kind of
Hmm.
more rooted in my own like passion and like also like meshing my own like writing and my own art with like when
Hmm.
I while am presenting like other people's, like works and stuff, and you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, totally.
and like I don't know, like I guess you could say all my zines have been kind of collaborative in that way. But like
Hmm.
yeah, I mean I've like envisioned maybe we would do something like maybe something in the future could happen depending on, how things go. But yeah, I'd say for for the time being. Um
Okay.
yeah.
And I guess to sort of just round this out completely, like if someone wanted to collaborate with you, can they just send you a DM, or like is there an email where you
Yeah.
take submissions or like that kind of thing? Like how
I
do
should
people
yeah.
get in contact with you?
I should make an email. I should make an email. I was thinking that the other day
Do
too.
it. Make it a
But
business email.
oh yeah, I feel like I have so many emails already.
Oh, same. Yeah, you gotta have a
But
million.
seriously, but yeah, DM whatever. Like if someone comes to me with an
Instagram.
idea that they want to do, I'm always happy to like you know work with other artists and like you know make more things.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Make
Oh
more
yeah, yeah.
art and shit.
Putting out that creative energy, and also I feel like putting out like just support for other people's creative energy is such an important thing to
Totally.
contribute. So thank you for doing that, April. I really
Oh,
appreciate anybody
yeah.
who comes on this show is it's basically me saying I think you're cool. So
Well,
thanks
thank
for
you so
coming and
much.
talking.
Yeah,
Is there
thank you for
anything you
having me.
wanted to end off with? Any messages for the world for the two viewers that get this far?
um, my message.
Maybe something to think about. What is the message of
Um,
me?
this is true. I don't know,
You know,
like
if it's off the spot, don't or on the
stay
spot, don't worry
cool,
about it. Stay cool.
stay
Keep making
tight,
zines.
keep being creative, whatever that means write
Mhm.
down your feelings or whatever is you want to write down. I feel like, yeah, be your creative selves. I feel
Totally.
like
And we can expect your Halloween zine coming sometime in October 2020.
surprise. Yep.
This might not be uploaded till October 2012 or no, I'm kidding.
22.
October. I don't know.
Are you a time traveler?
Yeah. No, I mean October. I think this would be most likely to come out October 23rd or something. Like sometime a couple weeks from now, because I have
Oh,
some
cool.
stuff to. I try to weekly, so we'll have one out. This episode will probably come out sometime then. Anywho,
Sweet.
it's been a pleasure. I'm gonna end
Oh,
this
yeah.